A public family conflict has erupted once again, and this time it centers around serious health concerns involving Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle Sr. Emotions are running high, statements are being made publicly, and the divide between family members appears deeper than ever. Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's half-brother, recently posted a video message expressing anger and frustration over the ongoing estrangement between Meghan and their father. In the video, he made it clear that he feels protective of Thomas Sr. and deeply resentful about what he describes as years of silence. According to him, Meghan has not maintained meaningful contact with their father for a significant period of time. The timing of the renewed tension is striking. News emerged that Thomas Markle Sr. had undergone a serious medical procedure in the Philippines, where he has been living. Reports indicate that doctors were forced to amputate part of his leg due to complications related to a blood clot and infection. At 79 years old, and with a history of previous health issues, including heart problems and strokes, the surgery marked another major challenge in an already fragile medical journey. Thomas Jr. has stated publicly that he has been physically present in the Philippines helping care for their father. He describes himself as the primary support during hospital visits, recovery, and rehabilitation efforts. In his view, Meghan's absence during this period reinforces what he sees as a long-standing pattern of disengagement. Medical professionals involved in Thomas Sr.'s care reportedly indicated that the amputation was necessary to prevent further complications, including the risk of severe infections spreading. Recovery from such a procedure at his age will likely require extensive physical therapy and adjustments to daily life. Despite this, Thomas Sr. has expressed determination to regain mobility and remain positive about rehabilitation. In interviews given from his hospital bed, Thomas Sr. reportedly spoke about his hopes for reconciliation. Rather than focusing on anger, he emphasized sadness over the family divide and expressed a desire to see communication restored. His comments suggested that he would welcome renewed contact if it were to happen. Meanwhile, Meghan's representatives reportedly stated that she had attempted to reach out privately. However, the specifics of that outreach have been questioned publicly. According to some reports, an email was sent to an address believed to belong to Thomas Sr., though it remains unclear whether that message was received directly by him during his hospitalization. Critics argue that a direct phone call or personal visit would carry more meaning than indirect communication. Supporters, on the other hand, point out that family conflicts are complex and deeply personal, and that public pressure may not reflect the full private reality. Adding another layer to the story, representatives from the U.S. consulate reportedly visited Thomas Sr. at the hospital. Officials confirmed that a welfare check occurred, but did not elaborate on who initiated it. The visit sparked speculation online, though no confirmed evidence has linked the outreach to any particular family member. Consular visits in cases involving American citizens abroad can happen for a variety of administrative reasons, especially when serious medical issues arise. Thomas Jr. reacted strongly to the consular visit, suggesting publicly that what he wants most is direct, personal communication, rather than what he views as procedural gestures. His frustration appears rooted less in logistics and more in emotion. He believes his father deserves personal acknowledgement during a vulnerable time. The situation also highlights broader questions about public image versus private reality. Meghan has built a brand around advocacy, compassion, and family themes in various projects and interviews. Critics argue that this makes the estrangement with her father more difficult to understand publicly. Supporters counter that family estrangement can stem from painful circumstances that outsiders are not fully aware of. It is important to remember that the Markle family tension did not begin recently. The relationship between Meghan and her father reportedly fractured around the time of her 2018 wedding to Prince Harry. Media attention, staged paparazzi photos involving Thomas Sr., and subsequent interviews contributed to growing mistrust on both sides. Since then, communication appears to have remained limited or non-existent. As Thomas Sr. begins what could be a long rehabilitation process, practical questions arise. Ongoing care following an amputation may require specialized equipment, possible relocation for medical support, and consistent assistance. Thomas Jr. has indicated he intends to continue supporting his father personally. Observers are now asking whether this medical crisis could serve as a turning point. Some believe such serious health events can bring families back together. Others think the divide might simply be too deep after years of public statements and media involvement. For now, what remains clear is that the situation has moved beyond simple disagreement. It involves health, aging, regret, pride, and unresolved hurt. While public opinion continues to debate who is right or wrong, the reality is that an elderly man is recovering from major surgery, hoping for peace within his family. Whether reconciliation happens or not remains uncertain. What is certain is that emotions on all sides are raw, and the story continues to evolve under intense public scrutiny. As the fallout continues, public commentary has intensified. Meghan's recent media appearances and projects have been analyzed closely in light of her father's medical emergency. Critics argue that the contrast between lifestyle branding and family estrangement creates uncomfortable optics. Supporters respond that professional obligations do not automatically indicate indifference. The reality of modern celebrity life complicates situations like this. Public figures operate within structured media schedules, contractual obligations, and carefully managed communications. At the same time, deeply personal family matters rarely fit neatly into public narratives. Thomas Markle Sr.'s recovery will likely involve months of physical adjustment. Learning to walk with a prosthetic limb at his age is a significant challenge. Physical therapy, strength training, and emotional resilience all play critical roles in recovery after amputation. Medical experts note that phantom limb sensations are common following such procedures, which Thomas Sr. has reportedly experienced. Financially and logistically, long-term care can become complex. Questions surrounding housing accessibility, ongoing medical monitoring, and daily assistance will need to be addressed. While Thomas Jr. has stated that he is committed to remaining by his father's side, caregiving over extended periods can be physically and emotionally demanding. Public reaction has been divided. Some believe Meghan should travel to the Philippines immediately and attempt reconciliation in person. Others argue that family estrangement often involves painful dynamics unknown to the public, and that outside pressure may not help healing. There is also the broader issue of Meghan and Prince Harry's children, who reportedly have not met their maternal grandfather. This fact adds emotional weight to the situation. Grandparent-grandchild relationships can be meaningful, and the absence of such connections naturally raises questions about long-term family bonds. However, estrangement is rarely one-dimensional. Relationships can break down for complicated reasons involving trust, boundaries, and past actions. Without full transparency from all parties, outside observers can only speculate. What makes this moment particularly sensitive is timing. Major life events often amplify unresolved issues. A health crisis forces reflection. It brings urgency to conversations that may have been avoided for years. For Meghan, any action taken now would likely be viewed through a public lens. A visit could be interpreted as compassionate or as calculated. Silence could be seen as cold or as protective privacy. The complexity of navigating public perception while dealing with private family pain cannot be understated. For Thomas Sr., the focus appears to be simpler: recovery and hope. Reports suggest he remains open to rebuilding communication. Whether that happens depends on factors far beyond media commentary. Thomas Jr.'s anger reflects the intensity of sibling loyalty. Caregivers often experience strong protective instincts, especially when witnessing a parent's suffering firsthand. His emotional statements may resonate with those who prioritize visible action over quiet outreach. At the center of it all is a family fractured by distance, media attention, and past misunderstandings. Health crises sometimes repair such divides, other times they deepen them. The coming months will likely determine whether this chapter ends in reconciliation or continued separation. Rehabilitation, family dynamics, and public scrutiny will all intersect. For now, an elderly man begins recovery from major surgery. A brother stands guard. A daughter faces public judgment, and the world watches, forming opinions without knowing every detail behind closed doors. Family conflict, especially under global spotlight, rarely resolves neatly. Whether healing occurs privately or the silence continues remains to be seen.